Hello, welcome back to Up the Villa. Welcome to Transfer Hub, your home of Aston Villa's transfer news, links, rumours, noise, murmurings, incomings and outgoings. If you are new around here, make sure you are subscribing, smash the likes. We've got a jam-packed episode today, so let's try and get 1,000 likes on this one and comment your thoughts in the comment section down below. So what we are going to do is we are going to chat about Jhon Duran leaving Aston Villa. We're going to chat about the Ollie Watkins rumour to Arsenal. And first of all, we're chatting about Aston Villa 4, Celtic 2 in the Champions League. What a night. What an occasion. What a day. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And what an achievement from Aston Villa. Back in the pinnacle of European football, to get inside the top 8 of a campaign where we've played some really decent teams is nothing short of exceptional. And first of all, as a Villa fan, I'm really proud of what we've been able to do, because it is against the odds, some of the teams that we're coming up against. But also, I'm just buzzing that we've been able to do it. And yeah, it's just massive. You know, it's huge for us. It's huge for the club. It's huge for Unai. It's not his biggest achievement of his career, but it's pretty big to get us where we need to be now. You know, we can plan, we can save our legs, we can work up towards it, we can analyze the oppositions. We have just put ourselves in a fantastic position, and in a position where we can really go for it and give everything we've got to get into the quarterfinals of the Champions League. So it's just brilliant. And yesterday, as a fan, it was class. Went into Birmingham, we went into the Colmore, and we were just playing pool, and some 4 Irish lads came in, and we were playing pool for about 2 hours with these Irish lads. And yeah, that was brilliant. Then got the bus into Villa Park, and I saw this French Villa fan who has got a season ticket, who was chatting to me, and it was great meeting him. And then we just, Villa Park was just exquisite. The Aussie tifo was class, and just the energy of, Scotland, England, Celtic, biggest club in Scotland, coming to Villa Park, playing. Their fans were exceptional. I thought they were brilliant. They were loud, passionate, raucous. When they got it to 2-2, them limbs from them, I've got to say, were something else. I saw headbutts in the Doug Ellis. I saw this dude just nut someone. Oh my God, it was kicking off in there at one point. But I thought the stewards and the police, they did a really good job of sort of like tackling that eventually. But so the atmosphere was just brilliant. And I've got to say as well, that new LA, LA, LA song as an anthem, it works a treat. It is brilliant. And I think that was great. I thought the announcer was brilliant with getting the fans going for, when he was saying the little lines and we were sort of then all chanting. I just thought the whole occasion was fantastic. The atmosphere, I just loved being in there, and I loved watching our team. It's a small achievement in the grand scheme of things, but I just love that we was able to go out, apply ourselves, and get that victory and do our part. And it was left in the hands of Barcelona. And I mean, 9 times out of 10, you rely on Barcelona and they sort you out a treat. But of course, it was 2-2 with about 8 minutes of added time. Of course, that was the scenario. But, we got there, we did it. And I think if I get the table up now, we reflect on sort of who we finished above as well. Liverpool, top spot. So fair play to them. We've got Barca, Arsenal, Inter, Atleti, and then we've got 3 teams on 16 points, Leverkusen, Lille, and Aston Villa. And we finished above, you know, Europa League winners Atalanta, Dortmund, finalists of last year, season in, season out teams. The greatest team in world football for me, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, AC Milan, Paris Saint-Germain, Juventus, Man City. So it's an unbelievable achievement for Villa to be able to do that. And some could say we probably shouldn't really have lost any of those games as well, you know. But I think the way in which it's worked is it means that in the quarters we either play Liverpool or Barca, or we could have played Real Madrid and Man City. So if we'd have finished higher. So I kind of feel like where we're at there is kind of okay. It's kind of okay. Obviously, we've got to get through the round of 16 first. But yeah, so if I show you the draw then of how it works, if anyone has got any more knowledge on this, then it'd be great in the comments, because we can play 4 potential teams in the round of 16. And those potential teams are Sporting, Bruges, Atalanta, or Dortmund. And then you can see in that next bracket there, we will be in that sort of Liverpool Barca for the quarterfinal. Obviously, if they win their round of 16 games, which you'd imagine, but they could have PSG there, so that's a tough one. So that's how it looks like it's going to be working. If you map it out a little bit, then so quarters could be Liverpool, Barca. Semi could be Arsenal, Inter, Atleti, Leverkusen, and then you've got the playoff games. So you've got final Juve, Milan, or PSV. So yeah, very, very tasty. And then on sort of, yeah, just buzzing about it, really. Absolutely huge. So let's have a little bit of a chat about the game then. We'll go through some of the big talking points from the game, and I'll show you some of the images of what I've picked out. But for me, again, unbelievable Boubacar Kamara. We saw him early on. This was the build up to our first goal. He plays this lovely ball over the top to Luca Dean. His vision here is brilliant, because we know how important Pau is. But Kamara in this instance, his ball playing ability, he was absolutely everywhere. This kid is world class. You can put him anywhere. I said on the fan cam, you could put him in goal, and he'd probably put in like worldy performances, because he's incredible. But another player that needs a massive mention, and I'm starting to see what I want to see from Ramsey. I'm starting to see the runs in the box. I'm starting to see the pick outs. I'm starting to see the weight of pass, the drive, the determination, and the quality to pick players out in this position. Now, we did it 3 times in this game. He picked out Bailey, who then Bailey passed to Watkins for one of them, and Watkins should have scored. But this pick out here for Rodgers, absolutely brilliant from Ramsey. And I want to keep seeing it now. He's getting better and better and better, Ramsey. So that is fantastic to see as well. Now, this is the build up to Rodgers' second goal. And I want to go back to one instance which makes this goal even happen. And it's Ezri Konsa here stepping out in front of a Celtic player and winning the ball back. Now, if he doesn't do this and the Celtic player holds it up and he bides in, he plays a little pass, this goal doesn't happen. So Konsa stepping out in front of his man, brilliant to see, wins the ball. We then allow the ball to go into, I think it's Bogard into Watkins into Rodgers, and then Rodgers absolutely fires it into the top corner, and Aston Villa are absolutely flying, and we're rocking, we're rolling, we're just playing some unbelievable football. And then a bit of unfortune with this goal, I think. We're getting to a bad area here which is, we're in a bad area with 3 players. Bogard, the right back's out of position. But we do get a little bit unfortunate with John McGinn knocking it right into Ida's path. If this doesn't get knocked into his path, he doesn't score. This goal doesn't happen. So there is a little bit of like an unfortunate nature with it. But again, stop the cross, get in a better position. And at that point, I was still quite calm. And then Celtic go and score their second goal. And I'm going to be quite honest with this one. This is a brilliant goal. I think at times Villa can concede goals where we are just schoolboy defending, West Ham back post. Some of the goals we've conceded this season just aren't great. But this here, it's brilliant play. And I think sometimes a goal like this, you've got to applaud for what it is, because this flick here that goes into the path here, and this player is offside and waits and doesn't get involved, and this player goes in through there. I just think it's a really that's a touch of class, that is, and I think sometimes the goals, it's a good goal. So I think with this one, yeah, it's just brilliant. We probably could try and positionally get one of these 2 players in here. We've been blindsided by 2 runners in behind, but that flick there, it's class. And like I said, the away end went off, and fair play to their fans, because they were on it, to be fair. But then again, McGinn in this instance was absolutely unbelievable. And this area here, there was only one winner all game. Watkins stretched him and run him ragged. And we get into these really good positions. And it's a brilliant goal. We've got Ramsey who's going in to find some space as well. And he's able to weight of pass, perfect. Watkins finish, perfect. And this is what we want from Ramsey, especially because even though he's in this situation here, there's pressure on this. There's pressure on this ball, because if you hit it too hard, if you hit it too light, if you don't lay it into Watkins. So Ramsey, absolutely brilliant. And then finally, all made by one man, Ollie Watkins. The endeavour, the pressing. Again, he's able to get the ball, get in front of the defender, and he lays off Rodgers, who puts it away, and Villa have won the game 4-2. So some really good stuff in here from a lot of Villa players, which is very, very pleasing to see. And we need to build on it now. We need to take confidence. We need to grow. We need to just harness what we saw, really. If we have a look at our average positions, then you'll be able to see that Kamara was everywhere, stepping out, driving with the ball, being really, really confident. We can see that there's a bit of a gap in midfield. I think this is because it's not showing where McGinn was. So you put McGinn on there, you can see where McGinn was in that double pivot with Yuri Tielemans. Ramsey, I thought he was class. Bailey was, getting on it and zipping it, and he was sort of driving us forward. And if he was fine, he was absolutely fine. We've got Rodgers, who was just class. Watkins, class. Konsa, brilliant. Bogard, okay at right back. Oh, okay. Now, there was a little bit of a question of like why Costa didn't come on. And the bottom line is he's going out on loan. We can't bring these and rely on these players that aren't going to be here. So he's going on loan. He had to put Bogard in there. And I imagine for the next game with cash out, it might be Garcia or it might be Bogard again. But yeah, Costa, I probably wouldn't have put Costa on, if I'm being brutally honest, because I think Bogard probably was the option, to be brutally honest with that. Right, so some of the numbers, and I think Bogard's numbers were very good as well. So if we go with the Villa numbers from the game, And his duels, Bogart's duels, were really good. So he's got 5 out of 6 ground duels were won. He's 1 out of 1 aerials were won. He had 90% passing accuracy. McGinn had 97% passing accuracy. 2 out of his 4 duels were won. Bailey, 76. 4 out of 8 were won for Bailey. We've got Ramsey, 5 out of 8, 90% passing accuracy. 2 assists, really good. Conser, 97% passing accuracy. 2 out of 3 of his duels. We have got Digne, 2 out of 5. Kamara, 3 out of 3. 90% passing accuracy for Conser. 86 passing accuracy for Martinez. And then we've got any more. We've got 3 out of 8 for Watkins for his duels as well. But a bit of a shout out to one player that I was impressed with for Celtic. Thought McGregor's good. I thought he's good in midfield. He's a top midfielder, and I thought he was their engine and the player that really gets them going. So buzzing. But was I buzzing at 5:30, 5 o'clock yesterday when I saw that the Arsenal bid for Ollie Watkins had been leaked? No, I wasn't. Was I fuming? Yes, I was. Now, Fabrizio Romano has tweeted today. He has tweeted the following. Let me just get it on the screen for you. So he has tweeted that. Here we go. Aston Villa are determined to reject new approach from Arsenal for Ollie Watkins. Unai Emery wants Ollie to stay. Villa didn't like the amount of the first bid, 60 million. Also, timing of the leaks ahead of the Champions League game. Villa focused on Jhon Duran to be sold to Al Nassr now. Right. Watkins cannot be sold in this window. We cannot lose Duran and Ollie Watkins in the same window. That would be an absolute disaster. It would be a disaster. And I would be livid with it. Absolutely livid with it. The timing of it is disgusting from a Villa point of view. The timing of the leaks is awful. From the Arsenal side, they don't care. Why would they care? They want that. They've got no allegiance to Villa. They don't care about Villa. All they want is the player. Apparently, the bid went in on Monday, and the leaks have come out on Tuesday. But at the end of the day, you know, it's just not great. We had it with Duran and the West Ham bid a couple of weeks ago, which again was on the day of an evening of a game. Is it the Monaco one or one of the other games? I can't really remember, but yeah, the timing is just appalling, and I just don't see us accepting any bid for Watkins in this window. Now, apparently, is he an Arsenal fan? Would he hand in a transfer request? I don't think he would do that. But as far as I'm aware, we spend some of the Duran money, Watkins stays, and then we would reevaluate in the summer. I think while our season's still on, it's vitally important that we keep all of our top players. Now, something reading between some lines of what Emery said last night, and I've got some quotes here from one of the interviews that he did, and this is quite telling, I think. So he basically said, let me just try and find it for you. Where is it? So I haven't got it saved actually, but basically what he said is that for a player to leave Villa, it has to be good for the player, it has to be good for the club, and it has to be good for the team. And he was basically saying that the Jhon Duran situation is good for all three. And when it's good for all three, it means that the player can leave. Now, if we read in between the lines of what he said there, Ollie Watkins leaving Villa is not good for the club right now. It's not good for the team right now. And whether it's good for the player or not is irrelevant because the other two haven't been hit. Now, with Jhon Duran, it's good for everyone. So there's a bit of a difference between where Unai's thinking around and reading into the quotes that he has been saying as well. So, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't go. I've made it pretty clear over the last recent weeks, months, or whatever, that Ollie Watkins is very, very important to Aston Villa. And we saw it last night. Could have scored 5, but if you look at what he was doing, he was literally running their defence ragged and he was getting us further up the pitch. It was unplayable. He was unplayable, Watkins was. So, yes, my critique is that I want him to finish those chances, because if it goes 3-0, we win the game. 3-0, then they're coming back. So that is important. But what Watkins does for this team is absolutely massive. So, as far as I'm concerned, Arsenal can do one, and Watkins is staying. Right, next transfer is Jhon Duran is going to be sold, and it looks like Jhon Duran is going to be sold today. So I've already spoke about what Emery mentioned about what goes into whether a player can go or not. So this is what Emery said last night. You know my opinion on him. A fantastic player, a fantastic potential player. I was always trying to get him with my advice. I was so close with him, trying to work with him for his development. But the player has their own objective and own ambition. He also went on to say, I don't know exactly until everything is done, until Duran is leaving or not. But if Duran is leaving, it's good for us because they are paying good money and we have developed good players in 2 years and getting a good offer. So it's pretty clear that from what Emery's saying there, he's tried his best. He has supported the player, but the player has got other ideas and other ambitions of playing elsewhere. Now, my general opinion on Jhon Duran is that I am very grateful for everything that he's done this season, especially. He's brought us some really top moments, some top goals. He has given us some unbelievable victories. And for a player that's 21, developing and growing, under Unai Emery, this whole situation of whether you can have 2 players, 2 strikers, whatever. If he'd have stayed at Villa, he could have been phenomenal. But he doesn't want to do that. He wants to go and play. And Emery has said that the player has other ideas. And it's just so random that a player of his potential is comfortable going to play in Saudi. Now, he might only be there for 2 or 3 years. And if he is, he'll be 20, 23, 24 by the time he gets his next big move to whoever or wherever, or if he develops or if he falls off a cliff there. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen with his time and move there. But for him to go there is just, it's just like, for whatever we can think of Jhon Duran as a player and how good he can be, for him to go there is just a complete and utter waste. So yeah, I'll miss the shots from distance, but I won't miss the noise and the drama around everything. And I'm just gonna leave it at that because I just want to kind of just be thankful, really, rather than talk about antics. But I wish him well and I hope he does well. But Villa are going to be getting a significant amount of money for him. I think Ben Jacobs. What did Ben Jacobs say? Ben Jacobs last night, he was saying that it's in and around €90, wasn't he? So what is he saying? He tweeted something yesterday. Right, here we go. So we've got Ben Jacobs last night. Jhon Duran set to join Al Nassr after an agreement reached with Aston Villa for an initial €77 million, as Ornstein called. Total package around €90 million. Similar fee to the one that saw Neymar join Al Hilal from PSG. Duran set to be prioritised ahead of Victor Boniface if all goes to plan. Medical on Thursday has revealed Jhon Duran has already finalised personal terms with Al Nassr told the club earlier in the week he wanted to leave for Saudi if clubs agreed the fee. So there we go. So I imagine I'm going to be quite busy with the transfer front. So we've got this one that's dropped out right now that you've watched. If anything drops today, then I will react to it for you. We'll have the match preview for Wolves tomorrow with opposition preview. I'm going to combine the 2 episodes. So that'll be out tomorrow. But up the Champions League, Aston Villa. What a feeling. It feels really, really good, guys. So if you've got this far, get on the journey with us. Make sure you are liking, subscribing, get involved. The channel's here for you to have your opinions, your say. Up the Villa.